is elhiszem. Szerencsére, hát annyiból jó nekünk is, hogy ha bár nem volt még tervezve, tehát volt tervezve a második, csak még nem, mert azért ez, hogy 16 hónap lesz köztük, ez azért, tehát hogy az egyik kicsi, a másik pici, tehát mindkettő pelenkás még azért ez, és holott nem ikrek, ugye. Na mindegy, biztos ennek is meg lesznek a nehézségei, de ők nekik biztos nagyon jó lesz, tehát ők nagyon jól ki fognak jönni, meg mondják is, hogy ahhoz viszont meg még 16 hónaposan fiatalabb kicsi, hogy ez a testvéri féltékenység esetlegesen kialakulhasson benne. Tehát, hogy azt meg még nem úgy fogja föl, tudod, mint ha mondjuk egy 3-4 évesnek jön egy kis öccse, vagy... Úgyhogy, meg hát nagyon kedves a kislányom, tényleg, tündér. Igen, bizony, az anyukájáé a szeme. Minden az apjáé, de az anyukájáé, igen. Jó, hát ami a lába között van, attól tekintsünk el, de amúgy igen, nagyon apjára ütött. Igen. Jaj, hát hazabeszélsz, igen. Hát de te is szépen énekelsz. Hát még ők itt a fiaid közül is lehet, hogy valaki énekel. És én is énekelhetnék szépen, hát ott, hogy annak idején ez a közoktatási rendszer tesz belém energiát, meg kreativitást, mint ahogy nem szokott. Tehát azért, ha hallod az orgánumomat, hogy én voltam énekkaros, ahol azért kellett jelen lennem, mert nem engedtem haza 7. órával, és kártyáztattam a többiekkel, mert én nekem más. De ott kellett, hát, hogy milyen baromságok vannak.
Erről szól ez a kisfiam most. Ez a kisfiam pont egy ilyen kulcsos, ha majd nézzük.
Ja, tudom, miről van szó. Igen, igen. Nem láttam még, a hallottam. Igen. A második, tehát első?
A másodiknál...
Ez a Kirby show, vagy az az első?
Lenni úgy énekelni.
Pláne good. Aha. Jó, én azt meg is kérdeztem, és mindig Siri. Szia, Gyula. szerintem a Tuboynak. De én már intéztem azóta, most már nekem kell, hogyha akarsz adni. Jó, egy elég. Mármint milyen gongot? Egyet. Jó.
Dear guests, at the beginning of our ceremony, let's sing the Hungarian national anthem, and then let's listen to the anthem of the European Union. Please take your seat. Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, let me thank you for accepting the invitation of the university to today's doctoral degree awarding ceremony. Let me greet all of our guests with special regard to the guests of the board, Mr. István Jakab, Deputy Speaker of the Parliament, President of the Hungarian National Rural Network. Dr. István Nagy, Parliamentary State Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture. Dr. Péter Solti, Ministerial Commissioner of the Ministry for Human Resources. Dr. Gábor Gönci, Veterinary Doctor, President of the Hungarian Veterinary Chamber. And Dr. László Palkovics, University Professor, Vice Rector of St. István University. Let me introduce the members of the board. Dr. Péter Sótonyi, University Professor, the Rector of our university. Dr. Gergely Bohátka, Chancellor. Dr. Tibor Barta, University Professor, Vice Rector for International Relations. Dr. Péter Gálfi, University Professor, Vice Rector for Scientific Research. Dr. Tibor Németh, Associate Professor, Vice Rector for Clinical Affairs. Dr. László Ózsvári, Associate Professor, Vice Rector for Education. Dr. Péter Szabó, Associate Professor, Director of the Biological Institute. And Jászmin Luca Erdélyi, President of the Student Government. Let me greet all the parents, relatives, the retired heads of our faculty, our ordinary and honorary professors, and the representatives of our partner institutions. I warmly greet the professors and other workers of our university, as well as colleagues from the Animal Healthcare Service and the National Food Chain Safety Office. I also welcome Dr. Melinda Magdus, Scientific Communications Manager of Royal Canin, and Dr. József Varga, the owner of the Tolnagro Company Group, who have donated gifts to our young colleagues. Let me greet the representatives of foreign embassies, Ambassador Mr. Pat Kelly, Deputy Mission Leader Miakeridis Crowley, and Attaché Maria Nayo from the Embassy of Ireland. Deputy Head of the Embassy of Norway, Ms. Katarina Romberg. And finally, let me greet my colleagues-to-be, whom this whole ceremony is about, those 148 graduates who have completed their veterinary studies and will receive their doctoral degrees today. Now let me ask the rector, Dr. Péter Sótonyi, to deliver his ceremonial speech. Dear eminent doctors, dear colleagues, dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, today we have arrived at a solemn moment of our university, and I warmly greet you at the 230th doctoral degree awarding ceremony of the University of Veterinary Science. Let us share your ceremonial and solemn feelings on this occasion, which is a milestone in your lives, when, after your oath, we accept you as colleagues at our veterinary university. The first thought should be that of thanks. Thanks to all those who have made it possible for you to become veterinary doctors. Your parents, your family, your friends, supporters, classmates, and last but not least, your professors. Today, we are awarding veterinary degrees to 76 Hungarian and 73 English language veterinary graduates. Traditionally, the veterinary degree represents a very high value, and its good reputation is disseminated by our graduate veterinarians all over the world. Dear guests, it is unique in our university that we train veterinary students at the University of Veterinary Science in 3 languages, in Hungarian, English, and German. This is undisputably one of the most significant institutions in Europe and in Hungary. And now let me announce that in recognition of this fact, today the Hungarian Heritage Prize was awarded to the 230-year-old veterinary training institution. Thank you very much for the applause. Our institution deserves this. The veterinary degree traditionally represents a very high value because our institution is one of the most difficult universities. However, here the student is not only a Neptune code in a database, because we have made every effort to make them feel comfortable here. In our country, this university is the only veterinary training institution, so almost all Hungarian veterinarians have graduated here. The friendships they have made and the experience they have shared form the basis of our professional community and cooperation, which is envied by so many outsiders. Take good care of this special treasure. We are often blamed for trying to live from our past, but we do have a present and a future. We often had to sail against the wind, but the values of the past have always driven us to the same direction. As stones fit into buildings, we all have to find our way and fit into the university structure. As our poet Gyula Illés said, a tree responds to the challenges of the wind with its roots. So we have to keep going on in the same direction and sing from the same notes. We must take responsibility for our community, because only what is authentic can be acceptable in the long run. In our alma mater, work was always appreciated. It is of key significance that the European Association of Establishments for Veterinary Education has granted full accreditation to our institution, which was the 7th from the 97 veterinary training institutions. This means that the degree we award to our graduates is automatically accepted in all European countries without any further accreditation. During the assessment, the outstanding scientific achievements of our university were highlighted, and we became a research university based on the government's decision. We have made great efforts and we have shown example in cooperation and commitment towards our alma mater, because we wanted to keep on operating as an independent university. Hungarian universities are making great struggles and efforts to be listed among the top universities of Europe. The Hungarian government also recognized our work because it supported our project to become an independent university from the 1st of July 2016. I'd like to express my thanks to all those who have contributed to this achievement. because this is to the greatest pleasure and enthusiasm of the Hungarian veterinary community. To maintain the high international standard of our education and research work, we have carried out various large investment projects. For example, we inaugurated 4 new classrooms in September at the academic year opening ceremony. I think we deserved the title, the most charming campus of Budapest. Now, I have pleasure in handing over to all of our students the UniVet paper, which is published by our university. And now you have received the first issue of this paper, and you can read about the everyday life of our university. Dear young colleagues, you have unanimously evaluated the last practical semester as a positive experience. You felt that the knowledge you acquired among the walls of the alma mater provide a proper basis for fulfilling the tasks that are awaiting you in real life. We are delighted to see that our foreign language students have also found it useful that the study program was extended with a practical semester in their studies. Sharing the view of my colleagues, I can declare that the new type of final examination serves the purposes of closing the period of basic veterinary training very well. This is a ceremonial event where the students and their professors meet as colleagues, and where the students defend their theses and prove that the complex knowledge they have acquired make them suitable for becoming members of the veterinary university. The students, each and every one of them, were all very well prepared. Their presentations were well organized and of really high quality. They are characterized by self-consciousness, a sense of professionalism, and utmost dedication towards the career they have chosen. They have presented their future plans with impressive maturity and self-confidence. It was a special pleasure for us that many of them would like to work in a livestock or mixed veterinary practice, thus hoping that the number of animals will grow in our country. Another pleasure is that besides the veterinary degree, I can award a certificate of hunting and wildlife management to 47 students who will contribute to the professional cooperation of hunters and veterinarians. Dear young colleagues, as a result of your efforts and struggles, you will receive your degree today in a reputable institution, in our alma mater. You are a special year in many respects, because 5.5 years ago, you applied for admission to the Faculty of Veterinary Science of Szent István University, and after 17 years, you will be the first to receive your degrees from the University of Veterinary Science, which celebrates its 230th birthday. You can swear your oath to the flag of our university, and I do hope that in 7 years' time you will also receive your ruby diplomas here. It took a long and tiresome road to get here, both within the walls of the university and outside them. You have chosen a profession because you have chosen this profession because for most of you, You loved animals and nature already as children. You have different motivations, you come from different backgrounds, but you have some common characteristics which will always connect you. You, dear young veterinary doctors, and us, professors and educators, just like all veterinarians in Hungary and all over the world. Vilmos Zlaval was a key figure in Hungarian veterinary science, in Hungarian veterinary medicine. 140 years ago, he said, no one can doubt the equality of the importance of animal and human medicine. So we are linked by the love and knowledge of natural sciences. We can make contacts without words, and we must let go our pains, because we will unfortunately encounter failures. We can't save all lives. But for this very reason, we are aware of the values of life, and we must be able to make very quick decisions, very responsible decisions. We need dedication, empathy, will, sometimes physical strength, lots of patience, and of course the knowledge of humans is also indispensable. You need all these skills and knowledge to become a good veterinarian. Our profession is diverse and therefore offers more opportunities than ever. In addition to veterinarians who carry on clinical practice, many of them are engaged in food safety or food control or administration or even animal protection. Our life is determined by interdisciplinarity, flexibility, and multifunctionality. If you want to be really successful, you have to learn, keep learning all your lives. Let the renewal, the upgrading of knowledge be a lifestyle for you. Be veterinary specialists, learn marketing, IT, languages, and get acquainted with law, economics, and all other disciplines which will contribute to your success. I'd like to quote Vilmos Zlamal again. I can't emphasize enough that you should not only look at your profession as a means to learn your bread, to earn your bread, but also as a science. So try and arm yourselves with all the modern humanities. It was true 140 years ago, and it's even truer today. Dear students graduating in the foreign language program, our foreign language students are here with a serious and responsible mission, because the standards of our educational work will be judged on the basis of your knowledge when you return to your countries. The foreign students who graduated before you have all acquired recognition and respect, both for themselves and our institution. I would like to address some words specifically to you and congratulate you on your graduation as veterinary doctors, because I highly appreciate your efforts. The most convincing sign of interest in and commitment to the profession is that you dared to come to a foreign country, the language and traditions of which were absolutely unknown to you, and you started such difficult studies alone with the support of your parents or relatives. You have made our university a diverse and multilingual community where we could get to know new cultures and make lifelong friendships in a real international environment. After you become veterinary doctors, you will return to your home countries all over the world. When you return, please keep our alma mater and our country, our beloved Hungary, in your hearts, and act as ambassadors throughout your career. Dear colleagues-to-be, the walls of our alma mater have witnessed the high standard work performed by the key figures of Hungarian veterinary medicine as well as your graduation as veterinary doctors. We congratulate you now. You can always be proud of the professional training we have provided to you, as you have done hard work to deserve this degree. You have always had to work hard to succeed and gain knowledge, but this is what makes it so joyful. This university is not a paper factory. So think of this when you face difficulties in the forthcoming years, because you are not only excellent specialists of your field, but also intellectuals who are responsible for shaping the future of our nation. As I already mentioned to you, I would like to thank you very much for the opportunity to teach you, as I held most of the anatomy lectures and specialized classes to you. You stood by me during the most difficult part of my life. Many of you worried about me, and many of you even prayed for me. I'm especially proud of your class because in your second year you were there with me and supported me during the first steps of my activity as the dean of the faculty. We shared our thoughts about the future and the fate of our university. I sincerely hope that besides the challenges and difficulties, you will find a lot of happiness and satisfaction in your future activity. Remember our university, where you have spent your most beautiful and most productive young years, as you can always return here. I wish you success in your work and hope you will be able to practice your profession in peace and the highest respect. Arm yourselves with moral purity and endurance, which is a cornerstone in the devoted work of veterinary doctors. Thank you very much for your attention. Dear guests, let me inform you that Minister Zoltán Balogh delegated General Managers János Ádám, Dr. Attila Móri, and Levente Szabó to the Consistory of the University of Veterinary Science for the period between the 1st December 2016 and the 30th of November 2021. Ministerial Commissioner Dr. Péter Solti is going to hand over the credentials at today's ceremony. I kindly ask General Manager Mr. János Ádám to take over his credentials. I kindly ask President Dr. Attila Móri to take over his credentials. I kindly ask General Manager Levente Szabó to take over his credentials. Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, this year, the Senate of the University of Veterinary Science decided to recognize the several decades of outstanding educational and research work carried out by Professor Dr. Sándor Tuboly in the field of veterinary microbiology, immunology, and epidemiology by granting him the Tree of Life Award. I kindly ask the Head of Department, Dr. László Fodor, to present the laudation of Professor Sándor Tuboly. Professor Dr. Sándor Tuboly received his doctoral degree at the Veterinary College in 1955. After his graduation, he worked as a state veterinarian of 6 years and as a veterinarian specialist in the National Animal Health Institute for 15 years. As a head of department, he did outstanding diagnostic and research work. He took part in large-scale immunization projects of economic significance. In 1976, he was invited to the university's Department of Epidemiology and Microbiology, which he headed for 8 years, and where he is still working today as a professor emeritus. It was Professor Sándor Tuboly who organized graduate immunology training in Hungary and held lectures in immunology and epidemiology for years. He also wrote several university textbooks in these subjects. He also shared his educational experience in Cuba, Madrid, and Cáceres. He wrote his specialized books in Hungarian and Spanish. His extensive research into tuberculosis, mycobacteria, the ontogenesis of the immune system, the humoral and cellular immune reactivity of newborn animals, and the intestinal absorption of the lymphocytes of the colostrum attracted wide international interest. Professor Sándor Tuboly is a leading figure in the national and international professional community. For example, he's been a member of the Hungarian Microbiology Association, the Veterinary Immunology Association, the Hungarian Zoonosis Association, as well as the Veterinary Committee of the Hungarian Academy of Sciences. By conferring the Tree of Life Award, the University of Veterinary Science hereby recognizes the educational research, diagnostic, and professional work Professor Dr. Sándor Tuboly has done over the past 60 years. The Senate of the University of Veterinary Science passed a resolution in October 1992 to establish the honorary citizen title. We intend to carry on this noble tradition and grant this title to colleagues who deserve this recognition. This year, the Senate has awarded this title to Director General Dr. Csaba Gyurica and to Editor Mr. András Lévai. I kindly ask Vice Rector Dr. Péter Gálfi to present the laudation of Mr. Csaba Gyurica. Dr. Csaba Gyurica was born in Gyoma in 1973. He completed his university studies in Gödöllő. He received his degree as an environmental agricultural engineer in 1996 and a soil scientist in 2000. He received a PhD degree in this same year. His educational career included the Gödöllő University of Agriculture and the Institute of Crop Management of Szent István University. He habilitated in 2008 and acquired the Doctor of the Hungarian Academy of Sciences in 2015. He was the Vice Dean for International Relations, the Vice Dean for Financial Management, and the Dean of the Agricultural and Environmental Faculty of Szent István University. He worked as a university professor at the University of Kaposvár. In 2015 and 2016, he was the president of the Agricultural and Rural Development Agency and the Director General of the National Agricultural Research and Innovation Agency. He has received a number of merits, including the Proscientia Golden Medal. He is an honorary professor of the Universities of Szeged and Debrecen. He supported the independence efforts of our institution with his commitment towards our profession. His loyalty to the veterinary faculty meant confidence and safety for the faculty's management when the plans of becoming an independent university were drawn up, as he took part in the development of its strategic steps and the possible ways of implementing them. In recognition of his lifelong merits concerning his efforts to achieve our independent university status, we hereby confer the honorary university professor of the University of Veterinary Science to Csaba Gyurica. I kindly ask Vice Rector Dr. Péter Gáfi to present the laudation of editor Mr. András Lévai. András Lévai is a key editor of the public media, MTVA. In 1994, he took an exam in general animal breeding, and in 1999, he graduated from the University of Kaposvár as an agricultural engineer. He was a founding member of the former Hungarian Food Safety Authority, where he was in charge of animal nutritional safety. In 2005, he was an editor of the Hungarian radio, while he also worked at the University of Kaposvár as a research fellow. He was the president of the Species Club of Hungarian giant rabbit breeders. As a special journalist and chief editor, he has always aimed to raise awareness and gain recognition for Hungarian agriculture and food production and disseminate scientific knowledge. He is personally committed to veterinary services. He has published reports on the events and activities of our institution for years. His interviews were broadcast in the scientific programs of the public media several times. He regularly provides space in magazines related to agriculture and rural development and interviews our colleagues as professionals on a continuous basis. The portraits of numerous veterinarians have already appeared in the public media. He is a reporter in news programs on our social activities. He attends the memorial table and statue inaugurations, commemorations, and cultural events. He also likes interviewing our veterinary students in his programs. He took part in the process of our independence efforts, especially in the communication tasks. His work has been recognized with several professional awards. In 2013, Endre Kardeván, former National Chief Veterinarian, granted him a Certificate of Merit for his outstanding activities serving the interests of Hungarian animal healthcare. In 2014, Sándor Fazekas granted him the Green Pen Prize. He also received an award from the Minister of Agriculture for his outstanding activity serving the interests of Hungarian animal breeding. We hereby confer the honorary citizen of the University of Veterinary Science to András Lévai for his extraordinary commitment and positive impact on the future of our institution and the establishment of an independent university of veterinary science. Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, for the first time in the history of the university, the Senate grants the Pro Universitate Mecenatura Certificate of Merit to Director Dr. József Varga in recognition of his committed work concerning the full reconstruction of the university's ACUS Club. As the owner of the Tolna Company Group, Dr. József Varga already stood preeminent among his fellow students during his university studies. He ranked second both at the university and the National Scientific Student Conference and acquired a summa cum laude veterinary degree. He has remained close to the campus ever since. He meets his university fellows regularly and keeps in close touch with vets working beyond the borders. He's a regular organizer of alumni meetings. Our students can meet him and his colleagues in person at lectures on animal nutrition and pharmacology, where they can learn about the feedstuffs sold by Tonagro. The company group shares its success with our university, as it supports the publishing of textbooks on surgery, pharmacology, and internal medicine, as well as the publications of the Hungarian Veterinary Chamber. He finds it important to assist talented students, so every year he offers a special prize to those achieving the best results at their exams or writing the best theses. He sponsors students at the Scientific Student Conference and also finances the freshman camps. The Society of Veterinary Doctors is a unique community. To prove this, every year the Tolnagro Group facilitates the successful implementation of HSAVA conferences, thus contributing to the continuing education of veterinary graduates and the self-training of veterinary students. It was owing to the president of the Tolnagro Group, József Varga, that the university's ACUS Club could be entirely reconstructed in 2016. He financed and managed the whole process, as a result of which our alma mater became the most charming campus of Budapest, with a modern venue that is suitable for the organization of high-quality events, in addition to the informal meetings of students, former students, and teachers alike. In 2017, the Senate of the University of Veterinary Science awards the Marek József Medal of Honor to Vice Rector for Scientific Research, Dr. Péter Gáfi. I kindly ask Head of Department, Dr. Robert Farkas, to present the laudation of Vice Rector Péter Gáfi. Dr. Péter Gáfi was born in Budapest in 1953. He completed his studies in Budapest and graduated as a veterinary doctor in 1977. He worked as a research fellow at the Veterinary Research Institute of the Hungarian Academy of Sciences. Between 1983 and 1984, he was the leading veterinarian of the State Farm of Pilishegy. From 1984, he was a senior research fellow at the Department of Physiology and Biochemistry of the University of Veterinary Science. He received a Candidate of Sciences degree in 1988 and habilitated in 1995. First, he was a private university teacher and later a university professor at the Department of Pharmacology and Toxicology. In 2004, he received a doctoral degree at the Hungarian Academy of Sciences. He and his colleagues were the first in the world to reproduce rumen epithelial cells and carry out biochemical tests with them. Also, he was the first to prove the productivity-promoting effect of butyrate in pigs. At present, he is examining the impact of probiotics on oxidative stress in the intestinal epithelial cells of pigs. His educational activity is focused on biochemistry, pharmacology, and toxicology. His scientific work has been recognized a number of times. For example, he received the Pro Scientia Gold Medal and the Széchenyi Professor Scholarship. He was a Vice Rector for Scientific Research at Szent István University and the President of the university's Doctoral Habilitation Council. In 2016, he was the appointed Vice Dean for Scientific Research of the Faculty of Veterinary Science. Now, let's listen to a song by Syrinx Veterinary Chamber Choir, Hans Leo Hasler, We're Here to Celebrate. Conductor is Attila Tapodi. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear graduates, I'm pleased to announce that it is time for our students who have successfully completed their studies to pledge their oath that throughout their career they will work according to their best knowledge with utmost professionalism and responsibility. Let's hear the veterinary doctoral oath, which the graduates will say aloud. I kindly ask our student László Kovács to pre-read the Hungarian text of the veterinary doctor and Eleanor Pope to read the English text for those graduating from the English language program. Please stand up while you listen to the oath.
Kérem hallgatótársaimat, hogy jobb kezüket szívükre téve
I ask my fellow graduates to put their right hand over their hearts and to raise their left hand. And after saying I in the oath, please state your name.
László, esküszöm, hogy állatorvos doktori képesítésemhez mindenkor méltó magatartást tanúsítok. A tanulmányaim során megszerzett tudásomat a betegségek megelőzésére, kezelésére és a betegeim jóllétének elősegítésére használom. Igyekszem elkerülni, hogy az állatoknak szükségtelenül fájdalmat okozzak, és tudatosan óvom környezetünk sokszínűségét. Fogadom, hogy állatorvosi hivatásom gyakorlása közben az állategészségügyi, élelmiszerbiztonsági, állatvédelmi törvényeket és rendeleteket betartom. Szakértői véleményeket, bizonyítványokat, mindig igaz meggyőződésem és legjobb tudásom szerint egyéni érdekre való tekintet nélkül adok. Fogadom, hogy tudásomat állandó képzéssel magas szinten tartom, arra törekszem, hogy az állatorvostudomány, valamint alma materünk jó hírnevét öregbítsem, megbecsülését előmozdítsam. Isten engem úgy segéljen.
Dear colleagues, after saying the word I in the oath, please state your name. I, Helena Pope, swear that as a veterinarian, I will act at all times according to the professional and ethical standards of veterinary medicine. I will use the knowledge acquired during my studies to prevent and cure diseases and to benefit the well-being of my patients. I will avoid causing unnecessary pain to animals and will be conscious of protecting the biodiversity of our natural environment. I will keep my knowledge and skills up to date by continuous education to meet the requirements of future development in the field. I accept it my duty to recognise the laws and regulations regarding veterinary practice and public health. In the country I shall be active as a veterinarian. I will strive to enhance the reputation of the veterinary profession and my alma mater. So help me God.
Thank you. Please take a seat. Dear veterinarians, owing to the fact that you have met all the requirements that enable you to be declared a veterinary doctor, the rector of our university will express this by a personal greeting. After the announcement of your names, you are kindly requested to proceed to the rector's pulpit and accept his greetings. I kindly ask the relatives, friends, and colleagues just receiving their degrees to express their congratulations with a decent applause instead of loud cheering. Please do not disturb the process by taking photos, and please do not leave your seats. The official photographer of the university will make the photos available to all our graduate students.
Babics Réka Blanka.
Doktorrá fogadunk.
Bai Balázs.
Doktorrá fogadunk.
Ballér Tamás.
Doktorrá fogadunk.
Balog Tamás.
Doktorrá fogadunk.
Barabás Lívia.
Jóban lehet.
Bárdos Áron. Becker Mária Júlia. Benedek Tünde. Berec Veronika Éva. Bodoki Anna Erzsébet. Bozi Szilvia. Cuk Anna. Csavolyec Anna. Csepi Rita. Cseuz Anna. Farkas Flóra. Farkas Nóra. Farkasová Lúcia. Fehér Judit. Fehér Orsolya Eszter. Füleki Zsolt. Gál Noémi. Hármasi Marietta. Hatala Patrícia. Hercsel Márton. Hojcsi Márton György. Kácsor Alexandra. Kalla Hédi. Kálmán Csenge Zsuzsanna. Kántás Zsófia. Kapiller Mátyás Dávid. Kardos Szabina. Karsai Szófia Ludmilla. Kartali Kitti. Kerékgyártó Bence. Kis Gerda Zsuzsanna. Koch Fruzsina. Kockás Máté. Koleszár Dejte András. Kovács László. Kovács Nóra. Kovalik Róbert. Krizsán János. Lénárt Melinda. Lengyel Péter. Martin Krisztina. Nagy Anna. Nagy Csilla Noémi. Németh Imre Pál. Németh Krisztián. Pálinkás Barbara Bernadett. Páni Szilvia Anita. Puhalák Dániel. Renkó Eszter. Rompos Laura. Rózsa Gabriella. Sági Krisztina. Sebeszta Bence. Seregi Bernadett. Somogyi Zoltán. Szabó Flóra Judit. Szabó Korinna Éva. Szabó Lola. Szent Miklósi Diána. Takács Noémi. Tóth Ibolya Mária. Tóth Fekete Renáta. Tótová Eszter. Turi Ágnes Amanda. Vangel Nagy Márton. Varga Bálint. Vörös Virág. Vrabé Fanni Nóra. Vermer Kata Alina. Afránio Ilária. Anderson Sanné Lundál. Anderson Lovisa. Avratoglu Maria Léna. Kondon Onye. Crowley Brian. Duvergne Violin. Férvág Caroline Klepstad. Farhan Mustafa. Fivelstad Randi. Fregot May Helen. Goffard Ellis. Hagenlund Helle. Hahn Elizabeth. Hansen Sunniva. Heimermann Yvonne. Hepp Katarina. Heinz Jacob. Heinz Connor. Ibrahim Lara. Aiston Serena. Jar Marie. Jansson Josephine. Johansen Mailin. Holmen Kine Backe. Kairis Ioannis. Kennedy Kien. Kauri Assad. Kingston Ifa. Klein Anna. Kleine Bühning Weit. Kluge Franziska. Kotter Anya. Kvale Ingvild Lid. Langanes Pernielle. Leclerc Robin. Lindberg Camilla. Lorin Marin. Maluf Ralph. Marij Mailin. McMahon Shauna. Meister Jost. Merz Gregor. Mulvihill Maria. None Emma. Novák Laurenz. O'Connor Emily Carson. Öppert Ingo. Oppel Susanne. Papa Nikolaou Anastasia. Pope Helena. Psillou Marianna. Quinn Dörvla. Reitmeier Christine. Röhren Malin. Römerman Nina. Rudorfer Bianca. Schellinger Felix. Sehat Babak. Skilas Dimitrios. Slide Jenny. Sörensen Marita. Stokes Nick. Sukihara Chihiro. Svindland Annelise. Talazen Ida. Vaughan Thomas. Solvik Heidi Volán. Von Bruch Romi. Weid Helena. Wieland Alex. Wildhage Johannes. Janez Dobson Christine.
And now let's listen to Searing's Veterinary Chamber Choir singing Kirby Show's song Plenty Good Room. Soloists are Krisztina Győrösi, Tamás Gabelics, Bálint Sárospataki, Dr. Julia Császár, and Dr. Georgina Helyes. The conductor is Attila Tapodi.
room on the glory train. But it ain't gonna happen unless you qualify. Plenty good room on the glory train. Better mind what you say and what you do. Plenty good room on the glory train. There's a mighty, mighty power watching over you. Plenty good room on the glory train. Plenty good room, plenty good room, plenty good room on the glory train. There's a plenty good room, plenty good room. There's a plenty good room on the glory train.
Well, I hear the angel Gabriel shouting, all aboard!
Plenty good room on the glory train.
Glory trains are heading up to heaven's door.
Plenty good room on the glory train.
There's a long golden pathway reaching toward the sun.
Plenty good room on the glory train.
Now the heavenly journey has just begun.
Plenty good room on the glory train.
There's a
Plenty good room, plenty good room, plenty good room on the glory train. There's a plenty good room,
there's a
plenty good room, there's a plenty good room on the glory train. Now the trains are really moving here, the clickety clack. Plenty good room on the glory train.
mile after mile down the railroad track.
Plenty good room on the glory train. Big wheel is turning, everything is fine. Plenty good room on the glory train.
She's never missing a beat and she's right on time.
Plenty good room on the glory train. Ooh, bring out the mighty, hear the engine roar. Plenty good room on the glory train. The boiler's burning and there's room for more. Plenty good room on the glory train. Ooh, ooh, goes the whistle, what a joyful noise. Plenty good room on the glory train. Next stop will be paradise. Plenty good room on the glory train. Plenty good room, plenty good room, plenty good room on the glory train. There's a plenty good room, plenty good room. There's a plenty good room on the glory train. Plenty good room, plenty good room, plenty good room on the glory train. There's a plenty good room, plenty good room. There's a plenty good room on the glory train. Plenty good room on the glory train.
Bejelentem, hogy a végzés
I hereby announce that on behalf of the Hungarian graduates, Dr. Bence kerékgyártó, veterinary doctor will share his thoughts, while on behalf of the English language students, Dr. Robin Leclerc will say a few words. Dear rector, dear professors, dear guests, my fellow graduates, let me greet you with a few thoughts. Just like all speakers, I attempted to avoid using cliches. I'm really sorry, but my attempt failed. So the day we've been waiting for so long has come. We have become veterinarians. The title DR will be there in front of our names. However, will not be doctors, will be physicians, healers who will alleviate the suffering of animals. In the near future, you will become heroes. You'll be the heroes of little girls because you'll restore the health of their dogs or cats. You'll be the heroes of farmers when you save the life of a calf, while the cow will also stay alive. And although anonymously, you will be the heroes of everyone because you'll be the ones who will make sure that there'll only be healthy foods on the shelves. You will be there from the agricultural fork to the silver fork. we will have a huge responsibility. Now we all feel that we are capable of handling a lion. But remember that the quality of the work you do will not only give a picture of you, but also the entire profession and your alma mater. Don't be afraid of asking the older, more experienced colleagues for help. And never forget the ACUS days, the dormitory parties, and the huge amount of time you spent with your books. I ask you all to cooperate in the field of work, just like in the case of the catalogs. The exchange of notes will now be replaced by the exchange of a weekend duty or a substitution when you want to go on holiday. So never work against each other, but always with and for each other. Now, having completed our graduate studies, we owe our thanks to many. We must thank our parents for making it possible for us to study, for supporting us along the way, and for tolerating when we finished our Christmas dinner in just 15 days and rushed back to our rooms with our books with 2 pieces of Baileys. Let's thank each other for never leaving each other alone, because it was those pats on the shoulder or those hugs that saved us from giving up. Last but not least, let's thank our professors for teaching us so persistently and sharing their knowledge with us, which will make us successful in our professions. And let's thank them for often struggling for our successful exams more than we ourselves did. Before saying goodbye, let me wish you all a well-balanced life, both in your career and your family, good health, and a pleasant feeling every night that you did something useful that day. And one more farewell thought. I think you should enjoy your work, because then it will be your hobby. And this way you will never actually have to work. Thank you very much for your attention.
It all began 5 years and a half ago. A bit impressed and excited to begin a new adventure, and all ready for a very particular back to school. Great projects of studying veterinary medicine in the University of Budapest. Leaving home was not the easiest part of the story, and we all had to settle in this new life, find our new landmarks here, build a good basement to our projects. We got to know each other and find our way here in order to establish our basis, on which we would build ourselves, our project, be a veterinarian, and build a strong edifice of knowledge and experience. During those 5 years, we built our scientific background, and brick by brick, we rose the wall of a construction, inside which we would accumulate and store everything we can learn. Each year, a new floor, every subject his room. We were building our home. All our teachers and educational staff were our architects and were essential for the stability and the good organization of our construction. With work and determination, we assembled all the parts of this house in the smallest details. The roof is now set, and it is time to celebrate the achievement of our edifice. Today, it is time to look inside our house and be proud, feel at home. We can now begin our veterinarian life with solid construction made in Hungary and rely on it to achieve our wishes. So here we are. Today we are vets. We enter in a big family, and I'm glad to do it with all of you. So proud to be able to say that my family is international. When I explain my story back in France, first, people have usually great difficulty to point out on a map where Hungary is. And when come the time to explain how it was to study here during all this time, I'm always very happy and proud to tell my story, to explain what I could live and discover during those years. Our path made us open mind and sharpen our curiosity. Ask later in the clinic you will work how many people had class with classmates belonging to more than 25 different countries. There might not be so much. I believe that this variety helped us in fulfilling our goal in Budapest and will be a great asset for the future. I remember our dean saying, "Do not lose yourself in Budapest" during our opening ceremony back in 2011. Back at that time, I did not know what it was meaning, but after a few years, I had the time to discover and practice Budapest, and I might have a more precise idea now. I must confess that I did discover and enjoyed a not always academic Budapest. As veterinary studies are intense and God knows how stressful, it is necessary to find moments to release the pressure. Who knows how many great places you can find here, from normal bistro to some more surprising place, like the basement of a library, for instance. Great nights indeed, and sometimes it was rough to realize the day after, on a day shift, that you would actually more benefit the infusion you are changing than the dog it is plugged to. Well, I think we achieved to not lose ourselves in Budapest, and more than that, we did find a part of ourselves and had the chance to live in a great city. Hungary, you surprised me. First of all, your city, Budapest, with your history, streets full of light, and your Danube and its panorama. By the side of your streets and the charm of your buildings and your parks, you are a great city. Hungary, you surprised me with your deep root of music and arts. Many things you have to show and to tell. Hungary, you surprised me also with your tradition of food. I know you will all say that French are obsessed with food, but I did find your cukrazda full of fine and delicious treats, but also your langosh, goulash, leszcso and other specialties, very tasty and fitting to my French taste buds. Hungary, you surprised me, and for many other reasons that I cannot mention as it would be too long, I would like to say thank you. I would like to thank the university and every person who worked here. A deep thanks to all education team, our mentors, our leaders. Thanks to the staff of the international program and office for their help and their guidance through this adventure. I would like to have a few words for all families and friends present here today. They followed us, listened to us, believed in us, and have always been here for us, for the best and the worst. For them, and from the deep of my heart, thank you. Your support was essential. A little thought for all friends and relatives who could not be here, with whom we would like to share the joy today. We owe this success to ourselves, but also to everyone who supported us. May this accomplishment be shared with everyone today. It's time now to celebrate. I wish you good luck for your future. Thank you.
Now, Mr. István Nagy, State Secretary, is going to greet the young veterinarians. Distinguished Director, Chancellor, professors, dear freshly bedoctored colleagues, I greet you all with deep respect on behalf of myself and the Ministry of Agriculture and congratulate on all the work you've done. I don't want to spoil the moment, but the difficult part is just about to come now. That's where you will experience that agriculture and veterinary medicine are closely related. You often learned about this, but believe me, it's true that you will only be able to achieve good productivity with animals, with livestock, if they are kept healthy. And for this, we do need your work. The University of Veterinary Science is a very highly reputed institution in Hungary and in Europe as well, as it trains professionals, veterinary specialists who can meet all the challenges of our present and our future, the preservation of our environment, our natural environment, who will ensure the safety of food and who will have to cope whether at farms or in small or large animal praxis. Dear graduate students, the degree you received here is recognized all over the world. So be proud to have studied here and try to disseminate the reputation of this institution. In the past, the establishment of veterinary training institutions was actually necessary due to the epidemics spreading in the country. And today, the authorities have a huge responsibility in guaranteeing the safety of food that are delivered to the shelves and eaten by the consumers. For this very purpose, we really need a very responsible and professional community of veterinary doctors. The climatic changes also pose new and new challenges, and sometimes new epidemics appear. We have to cope with and discover diseases which have not been known so far, which cause huge economic losses both directly and indirectly. These new diseases cause pain and suffering to our pets as well. So on the whole, if we come up with a new strategy in epidemic control, for example, in the control of the bird flu, this will lead to a safer life for both our animals and ourselves. As a profession, the veterinary career is full of challenges as well. Their work is indispensable because they play a key role in public health. They have to struggle with microbiotics, and they have to discover and apply new antibiotics to fight these new diseases. You have to take part in developing new technologies and also focus on modern animal keeping. It's important to point out that through the protection of the health of animals, you will have a great role also in reducing risks to the consumers. Globalized food production and black economy pose risks that can only be fought and eliminated with a uniform and consistent and efficient response from your part. Ladies and gentlemen, in the 21st century, the preservation of natural resources, sustainable growth, rural development, and agriculture are inseparable and have a national security significance. Therefore, we came up at the ministry with a new strategy which will delegate an outstanding role to food chain safety, among others. We have appointed new people who will be in charge of this work, coordinating this work. Knowledge is the token of development and improvement. So one of the most important elements of this is innovation. Innovation because we have to find new ways to react to the challenges, to the problems as quickly as possible. There are global problems like the sharp increase in food prices, and Hungary will have to find its own responses within the international field. Science and research have very important roles in this. So tradition and knowledge and innovation go together and will all have to be applied in practice to be able to carry out this technological progress. Only in this way will we be able to cope in the keen competition on the international platform. And the University of Veterinary Science is part of this project. Dear graduate doctors, I can't emphasize enough how the country needs professionals and veterinary specialists. So be always up to date in your field and keep on learning so that you can meet the expectations and respond to the rapid changes of our world. The school is a place where you learn, to raise your thirst for knowledge, to learn how to enjoy learning, and to find the job that you will really like. That's what I also wish to you. Thank you very much. Now, President Dr. Gábor Gönci would like to greet the young veterinarians. Dear Rector, distinguished professors, ministerial commissioners and excellencies, dear directors, dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear veterinarian colleagues, I greet you with great love and respect on behalf of the Hungarian Veterinary Chamber and, of course, on behalf of myself. This day is dedicated to thanks, to gratefulness, not only to you, but your professors and the bodies that will accept you. Let me stop for a moment because in the history of Hungarian veterinary medicine, there is a milestone now. If you just hear the sound, the name, the University of Veterinary Science, it sounds so good, it sounds so great, and I'm so proud of this achievement. And I'd like to thank all of those who helped and contributed to this achievement. Dear young colleagues, this is the most beautiful day. This is the top of your dreams and your efforts. So be very happy and very proud of your academic achievements. You really deserved it. Be grateful to your parents, to your relatives, and all those who helped you along this way. And do express your thanks, because that's all they can give you. Or that's all you can give to your assistants, your professors. Let me call your attention to three things. First, that's humiliation. Being a veterinarian, a good veterinarian, requires humiliation towards the laws of science and nature. So please foster this humiliation and never be conceited, because life will teach you sooner or later. And if you keep my advice, you will be successful in your career. But to be successful, you also need to keep learning all your lives. What the theoretical knowledge you acquired here is very important, and this moment you are the most educated and trained people in academic terms. But self-training is just as important. And one more thing I'd like to call your attention to, that you will be the members of a community in various aspects. You will be the members of a community because you will be part of the family of veterinarians. Today, there is one thing that links all veterinarians in Hungary, and that's we all received our degrees, our veterinary degrees here at this campus. Sometimes it was called a university or a faculty. I was lucky because I also got my degree at the University of Veterinary Science. But maintaining and building these relationships, these contacts, is absolutely up to you. It's up to you how much you want to be part of this community and how you want to keep in touch with your colleagues. This is very important because in today's secularized and individualist world, professional and personal relationships are of key significance. Yes, another type of community is when you go to work in a small town or village, and you will be indispensably, inevitably part of a young or a community. You will play an important role in the local public life, and you will have to show an example in being so well educated and so being so intelligent. People will expect you to share your knowledge with them and show them examples. Dear foreign colleagues, you have spent an important part of your life here in our country. You have got to know us, Hungarians. You have understood that, yes, sometimes we are a little bit peculiar or strange. Sometimes we are a little bit ununderstandable. But if you get to know us closer, you realize that we are really lovable people. I hope that just like a polished bead or gem, the time you spend here will be kept in your heart, and you will spread Hungary's good reputation all over the world. Dear colleagues, you will start working now, and I wish that success will accompany your life, your career, your professional progress, and good health will always be with you. God bless you. Last but not least, Mr. István Jakab is going to greet the young veterinarians. Dear Rector Péter Sotonyi, dear ceremonial board meeting, dear young veterinarians, dear parents, guests, let me greet you on behalf of the Hungarian Parliament and the Society of Hungarian Farmers at this exceptional occasion, which is very special and maybe the most special in your lives. We are really proud of you, So please be proud of the institution where you could take over your diplomas, your degrees. Be proud of the 230-year-old institution from which you received your degrees that helped you to achieve your goals and prepare for your exams as an independent university. Dear friends, those speaking before me talked about the challenges you will have to face and the tasks you will have to perform in the future. What I would like to emphasize is that you have acquired the knowledge, all the knowledge you need in the 21st century here from your professors. However, the real challenge is just about to come when you leave the alma mater and well, you will start working in the industries or farms or your own praxis, and you will have to face problems that require new knowledge almost every day. So keep your knowledge up to date all the time. We are lifelong learning is inevitable, and I'm sure you will all keep to this. I believe, and I'm sure, that although you have graduated as veterinarians here, but you are the real protectors of the health of humans, because you are responsible for ensuring that healthy food will be put on the tables of people themselves. Yes, from the agricultural fork to the silver fork. I like this saying very much. So never believe that you have undertook a service for a whole life, and you have to pay attention in every moment because your work is what our health depends on. Dear friends, now in the 21st century, the reform of education, especially that of agricultural higher education, is very important. You will take part in scientific research, partly as those who will apply the results of the research and those who will carry out the research. And this will be much easier if you cooperate with each other. And I believe that your high-level knowledge and the improving and increasing knowledge of the agricultural specialists will be able to raise the standards of Hungarian food production. Be part of this project, and let's be partners in making Hungarian food industry and agriculture successful. And I do hope that you will be happy in your lives, in your private lives as well, and be the leading colleagues, the leading figures of the country's intelligence, because you are the ones who have acquired the knowledge necessary for becoming these leading figures. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the purpose of the Professor Emeritus title is to recognize outstanding scientific and educational work. This year, the Senate awarded this title to academic Dr. László Solti, retired university professor of the Department of Reproduction and Dr. János Fetter, retired university professor of the Department of Botany. I kindly ask Professor Dr. Sándor Cseh to present the laudation of Professor László Solti. Professor László Solti is an ordinary member of the Hungarian Academy of Sciences. He completed his studies at the University of Veterinary Science in 1971. In the past 45 years, he has worked at the university almost without interruption. From 1994 to 2011, he was the head of the Department of Reproduction, and he led the institution as a rector and then as a dean. From 2004, he was in charge of the vice-rector's tasks at the University of Veterinary Science in Vienna for 2 years. And from 2007, he functioned as the rector of Szent István University for 6 years. He's been taking part in graduate and postgraduate training from the very beginning. During his career, he performed clinical and research work, both in large and small animal praxis. He has given his scientific research is marked by some 200 publications, book chapters, and over 1,000 references. He's given lectures in numerous scientific meetings and postgraduate courses in Hungary and abroad. He's the member of national and international scientific organizations, in many of which he held or still holds a leading position. He's still an active member of our department. He regularly gives Hungarian and English lectures and is a member of the examination board. Our department continues to count on Professor Solti's contribution. I kindly ask Vice Rector Dr. László Ózsvári to present the laudation of Professor János Fetter. Dr. János Fetter was born in Zirc on the 24th of September 1946. He started his studies in Budapest, where his interest slowly shifted from medieval history and archaeology to the field of biology. He continued his studies in the biologist training course of ELTE University, where he soon joined research projects, mainly focusing on the mycelia of gill mushrooms. After he acquired his degree, he started working at the Department of Plant Anatomy in the framework of a scientific scholarship program. From 1972, he worked as a researcher at the University of Veterinary Science, where he initially took part in research into grassland management. In the meantime, he obtained a qualification as an agricultural research engineering specialist at the Gödöllő University of Agriculture. In addition to his research work, he took an increasing part in teaching veterinarian botany. From 1990, he's been the head of the Department of Botany and gives lectures both in English and German. In 1997, he became a doctor of the Hungarian Academy of Sciences. Besides his educational work, he continues his mycological research and has been the chairman of the Hungarian Mycological Society for more than 20 years. His scientific work is marked by over 200 publications, some 1,100 independent references, and 50 impact factors. In recognition of his research activity, he was awarded the Apáczai Csere János Prize in 2016. For his educational and research work of several decades, our university confers the Professor Emeritus title. The Senate of the University of Veterinary Science awarded the Pro Universitate Golden Medal to 2 colleagues. One of them is Associate Professor Dr. László Ózsvári, who contributed to his committed work to the success of the European accreditation and the establishment of the University of Veterinary Science as an independent institution. I kindly ask Vice Rector Dr. László Ózsvári to take over the certificate and the medal. The other awardee of the Pro Universitate Golden Medal is Director László Kis, whose 2 decades of excellent work as a financial manager and dormitory director is highly appreciated. I kindly ask him to take over the certificate and the medal. The Senate of the University of Veterinary Medicine has recognized the outstanding work of student government president, Ms. Jászmin Luca Erdélyi, with the Pro Universitate Juventutis Medal for organizing the independent university student government. I kindly ask Ms. Jászmin Luca Erdélyi to take over the certificate and the medal. I'm pleased to announce that the Excellent Athlete of the University of Veterinary Medicine is awarded to second-year student Gabriella Szűcs for her outstanding sports achievements in water polo, as well as to our veterinarian colleague, Dr. Balázs Bayi, in recognition of his excellent sports achievements in athletics. I kindly ask Gabriella Szűcs and Dr. Balázs Bayi to take over their certificates from the rector. Ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, this year the Senate has awarded the Rector's Certificate of Merit to 8 colleagues. I kindly ask the awardees of 2017 to receive their certificates from the Rector. László Zoltán Reins. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I have pleasure in announcing that at today's ceremony, the Hungarian Veterinary Chamber is conferring the Veterinarian of the Year 2017 prize to Dr. Zoltán Szymanowski. President Dr. László Horváth will present his laudation. With his really funny but highly professional cartoons, Dr. Zoltán Szymanowski acquainted his audience with many animal illnesses. His cartoons, titled The Veterinarian, illustrated infectious and non-infectious diseases that are of interest not only to veterinarians, but the general public as well, in an entertaining form. We do not know of any better method to get rid of the widespread misconceptions about animals. His high intelligence is well proved by the creative illustrations as well as the choice of the instructive topics, including an explanation of the difference between viruses and bacteria, the intoxication caused by xylitol, and the urinary diseases of cats of unknown origin. The presentations are interesting and easy to understand, while they are detailed and accurate enough in professional terms as well. His work deserves recognition, especially because it was not the idea of a creative team, but of his own. To increase professionalism, he expressed his special thanks for the contribution of his colleagues in a unique, humorous style. Although the first part of the series has been available only for 2 years, more than 100,000 people have seen it, and he made some of his films in English as well. The Hungarian Veterinary Chamber recognizes the work of Dr. Zoltán Szymanowski because he stands as an example for all of us. Dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, in honor of a reputable professor of the university, academic Kossuth State Prize awardee, and professor of internal medicine, the board of the Hungarian Veterinary Chamber established the Mochi Medal of Honor. I kindly ask President Dr. Gábor Gönczi to present the decision of the board and the laudation of the 2017 awardees of the Mochi Medal of Honor. First, Dr. László Kárpáti. Dr. László Kárpáti was born in Cegléd on the 26th of June in 1958. He completed his veterinary studies at our university between 1977 and 1982. His first job was in the Lenin Cooperative in Cegléd, where he started working as an official veterinarian in 1982. Then he had a private practice in Chemő, Pest County, where he became a local governmental veterinarian. During this period, he taught the subject animal health in an agricultural high school. During the past 30 years, his practice was completely reorganized, as in addition to his on-site work, he opened his own surgery as well. After the chamber was set up, he acted as the vice president and the president of the Pest County organization. His work at the chamber was characterized by enthusiasm and thoroughness, and he always aimed to involve the younger generation to the chamber's activity. Between 2008 and 2016, he was a member of the National Board, where he and his colleagues made every effort to draw up the chamber law. In addition to his role in the chamber, he also acted as a local governmental representative for several terms in his place of residence. This Medal of Honor is a recognition from the part of his colleagues as well as the profession itself. I kindly ask Dr. László Horváth to read the laudation of Dr. Béla Bertódi, the other Mochi Medal awardee. Dr. Béla Bertódi was born in Budapest on the 7th of August 1942. His father had a great influence on his career choice, as well as on his sport, hobby, and eternal love, which is hunting. He was immediately admitted to the University of Veterinary Science, where he graduated summa cum laude in 1965. After completing his university studies, he started working at the State Farm of Felsőbabád with Chief Veterinarian Dr. János Ulla. He became a district veterinarian in Bicske, and in addition to his official work, he paid regular visits to 7 animal farms of 2 agricultural cooperatives. In 1988, he agreed to work as the chief veterinarian for the experimental farm in Herceghalom, where he spent 6 years. He retired from state service in 2004 at the age of 62. He became a hunter in 1965 and still enjoys this activity. As a well-known and widely respected intellectual from Bicske, he takes part in local public life in a moderate but active manner. He soon realized that the future lies in small animal praxis and high-quality treatment. So in 1993, he and some of his local colleagues opened a surgery where he still works actively. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'll start again. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me close our ceremony by expressing my thanks on behalf of the university to all those who have been present today. I congratulate all the awardees and wish them a lot of further success in the future. As for my newly bedoctored veterinarian colleagues, I wish that all their noble plans come true in their lives, and the years of work to come will be filled with joy and happiness.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wish that you can make your noble dreams come true and your career will be well balanced and fruitful. Be peace with you and God bless you. Meine Damen und Herren, ich wünsche Ihnen, dass alle Ihre Pläne in Erfüllung gehen. Führen Sie Ihren Beruf ausgeglichen und nützlich aus. Gehen Sie in Frieden in Ihre Heimat. Gott segne Sie. Menjenek békével az Isten áldja.
God bless you all. And please stand up now and let's sing the Hungarian National Proclamation together.
Kedves vendégeink, ünnepségünk végén.
Dear guests, this is the end of our ceremony. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Please stay at your seats until the members of the board leave the hall. Goodbye.